Big thing that's happening right now as we close out 2025 and head into 2026, plan how we want our year to be, uh, you know, sort of start to step into the energy of who it is that we are becoming. A big part of that is seeing where in which you yourself have repressed your being and where you have been like forced to, do you get what I'm saying? Like you yourself doing it, like things about yourself that you weren't comfortable with, and then also things about yourself that like that other people made you uncomfortable with or made you feel ashamed for it, that made you like sort of curl into yourself. And a big one that's coming out is especially for my feminines, like sensuality and sexuality, and embracing that, exploring that, being empowered by that, being turned on, being aroused, and feeling no shame for it, right? Especially like, okay, I've been doing a lot of womb work, and a big thing that I'm learning, like that's like, it's such life force energy. So when it's repressed, that's just energy that's there, that's not flowing up through like the rest of your energy centers, right? So you're blocked, but it's like hoarding that energy there, and it's almost like a fire that'll burn you from the inside out if you don't like begin to like sit with it and work with it. And also, if you're wondering why your life is like stagnant, why things are stagnant in your life, maybe you know you don't feel very abundant, you don't feel very like creative, like in your creative bag, right? It could be, it could be that you have a really really hard time with pleasure. Do you see how I just got quieter saying that? It could be that you have a really hard time with pleasure. Um, and it's important that we know that pleasure is our birthright, but that a huge focus right now, again, especially for the feminines, is pleasure play. Like play, like pleasure being play, play being a form of pleasure. I hope that's tracking. And a huge part of that is like giving yourself orgasms. It is. It just is. It's giving yourself orgasms. It's getting in touch with your own body, getting comfortable with your own body, getting comfortable with your femininity, your sensuality, and not being afraid of it, right? Um, as respectfully as possible. You're not a little girl anymore. So it's okay to like be a woman. And no, being a woman doesn't necessarily mean like specific genitalia or like anything like that, guys. It's just like, I'm not gonna tell anyone what being a woman is. You define that for yourself. That's something, that's a journey for you. My point though is a big part of that period, especially if like for feminines, that's what I should have emphasized, feminines over women, is pleasure, is getting in touch with your body, is releasing that pent up energy. It's like we can meditate in our womb space all we want and clear our energy all that we want, but if like we're just clearing out energy, we're not inviting in and making our womb and our body a sacred space to hold pleasure, fun, play, right? The right to be a woman and take up space, the right to be sexy, and not feel ashamed about it, not feel like you were asking for it, or like you know what I mean. Like it's like when you put on a hot ass outfit and you're going out because you're a bad bitch, so you're gonna dress like a bad bitch, right? Or a goddess or a fairy, like whatever makes you feel your most empowered, your most like your inner seductress, right? And then but you're not doing it to get attention, and it's okay if people like appreciate and like look and glance by, but you don't want to be like, oh well that, but people expect it. Like, I'm generalizing here, but you get what I mean. You know the people I'm talking about kind of like feel entitled to like ogle you and like sexualize you and objectify you. And it's like, it's understanding that that's gonna happen. That doesn't make it okay, but that doesn't stop you from being who it is that you are. That doesn't stop you from, if you know, if you are like a person who doesn't like to wear bras, let the titties out, like just let them out. If you like to, you know, show your little curves or whatever, like whatever it is, like just, and no, femininity does not mean that in specific. I'm doing caveats for no reason. This is gonna find who it's meant to find, and it's meant to find those who have repressed their own sensuality and sexuality, and who are afraid, or have been afraid, or have been sort of like ridiculed or whatever for even wanting to embody that, right? Like sort of objectifying you and loving that part about you, but the second you actually start to embrace it on your own, then it's like, oh, you're a problem, you're conceited, you're this, you're that. That's the sort of energy that we're going on here with that. Anyway, yeah, have fun, be carefree, be wild, whatever that means for you, to you. Do what it is what you want, for the good of all, to the harm of none, right? Make sure it's in your highest good. And let me tell you, pleasure is of your highest good. It is. Spirit told me so. Also, I just know that. It's like, I just know that. The joy that comes from, and I'm not just talking about like, you know, that kind of, I'm just talking about like even painting, you know, baking cookies and eternal, like whatever you find fun, enjoyable. But also a big part of this is, yes, do those things, explore your creativity, but also one thing that's going to really help with that is releasing the energy from your womb. And there's only so much, and it's, even if you have like a partner or whatever, because it's, and I'm especially talking to like my girlies who like grew up in the South, right? Like you know how Southern culture is. You know how like women are expected to be. You know how taboo it is to talk about sex. But then when you get married, you're basically expected to like be, right? Like, but then you have no idea what you're doing. It's really taboo to like engage in any sort of like self-pleasure, anything like that. And so then you're just getting it from your partner, but you don't know your own body. So it's like a part of you is disconnected from your own body, because you deserve to like know how it is that like you want to be pleasured by your own self doing it. And I mean, then in turn, I'm sure to help you with your marriage and your sex life. Even if your sex life is good, you know what I'm saying? It'll heighten it, right? Because you're more in tune with yourself. And it really is more about also being like more comfortable with yourself. Like, it's your body. It's they're your parts. Why be ashamed of touching them or like anything like that? You know what I mean? Like, even now, like I feel super awkward making this, talking about this, but that's what they put on my heart today. You see, you hear my voice. You notice how like when it's like actual stuff that's important, trying to silence me because I don't want you to know this. And now I'm super awkward, so I'm gonna go. Anyway, I hope this helped. I hope you found this helpful. I love you all so much. Yeah.